Welcome to the den of the social regressive. Lately, we have been testing some very fine centerfire rifles, like this Savage 10BA Stealth Evolution and the Model 10 GRS. Both of those have been in 6.5 Creedmoor. And with a very precise rifle, there's some really fun tests you can do rather than just shooting paper. And my favorite so far has been the Unknown Distance Challenge. And that is where the shooter and the spotter both are trying to estimate range to a target of a fixed size, and these things are placed at random out in a field, and you try to figure out how far away the thing is, and then try to shoot it in as few, actually hit it in as few shots as possible. So what we've been kind of basing this whole thing on are these targets right here. These are the Champion Duraseal clay pigeon holders. And these are made of a material that you guys have probably seen before. Sporting goods stores carry these Duraseal targets. And kind of what these do is they just kind of absorb bullets without being destroyed by them. You can see that this one has taken a few hits already. We just have these tiny little holes going through, and these are from 6.5 millimeter bullets. And you can see the exits right here. They're pretty much just the same size as the entrance holes. So these are designed to take quite a few hits and be able to keep functioning. They don't really destroy easily, and I've shot at these quite a bit. We're going to take a close look at some of the damage that we have on some of these. But first I just kind of want to show you how this works. You do have, each of these comes with a stake that you can just jam into the ground. These things actually go in pretty easy. And I gotta say that the metal is tough. We're going to take a look at damage that some of the metal has sustained as well. Or if you want to attach your targets to a 2x4, then you get these little clips as well. So yeah, each of these holds a 108 millimeter clay pigeon, and pretty much all of the stuff that you're going to get at Walmart or your sporting goods stores, your standard size is going to be a 108 millimeter clay pigeon. One of the cool things about the coloration of this is that it's going to contrast really well with the typical orange of a clay pigeon, or the black that you might get around the edges, or the black on the backside if you wanted to try to shoot in that direction. This is going to not only stand out really well against whatever backdrop you have, even in a grassy green field, you can see that these things stand out very well. And you do get contrast there, so you actually know which part of this you're supposed to shoot. And if you want to do that measuring, like the Unknown Distance Challenge that we did, you can measure to the edges of the clay pigeon, or you can measure to the edges of the target itself. So let's take a close look at these and see what kind of damage that we've done to this over several challenges. I have not only shot these 6.5 millimeter bullets in these two challenges that you've seen on video, but I've done some stuff just for fun with some friends too, where we shot at these with 22 long rifle and with pistols. Actually, we've shot everything from 45 ACP down to 22s at this, and let's just kind of see how hurt these things get. As you can see, I still have all 5 sitting here on the bench, so that's a good start. Let's take a close look at some of the damage that we have here. If you look at the front side, you can see that we do have some kind of pinholes going through them. And some of these you can see a little bit of a larger diameter kind of smear around the outside. I'm guessing that this was hit by a handgun bullet. This was shot by rimfire, by centerfire rifle, by centerfire handgun. And despite that kind of large print that you see on the front, check out the backside here. It's still just a tiny hole going through the back. Pretty cool. Most of the stuff that we've been shooting has been full metal jacket. And so, that's going to help. Supposedly, if you're going to shoot these targets, try to shoot them with full metal jacket, or, the open tip match that we've been shooting. Not something that's going to expand really rapidly, like a varmint bullet or something. A really nasty hollow point will carve these up more quickly than some of the others. So you can see that we just have some just very small holes through these things. I get the feeling these are going to last me a long, long time. So here's one that has a bit more profound damage. This one must have been used as the short range target a bunch. Now here, this one's interesting. This is the largest hole that I've seen so far in any of these. That's a pretty good size hole in the front. And on the back, it's still pretty small back here. Looks like I made a bigger hole on the front side than the back. Interesting. So this one is a little bit torn up. We have some frayed sections here. But you know what? The little tabs that retain the disc, the clay pigeon, none of these are damaged at all. I've never had any problem getting the clay pigeons back into these things. There's no functional damage to this whatsoever. And this guy, yeah, about the same stuff. And we have had a couple of hits in some interesting areas, like on this one. You can see that this was probably hit by a handgun bullet right here through this kind of flex section right here where the stake attaches. And again, it's just a tiny little hole on the rear side, so yeah, really nothing going on there. We've had a couple where the stake has taken a hit, and apparently this is some pretty good steel. Because this right here, this took a hit from a 6.5 Creedmoor, and it was bent pretty good. We just popped it in a vise and bent it back, and it's back at work. And this one on the last shoot with the Stealth Evolution, this one also took a hit somehow. There's no hole of any kind. We just found it bent over. We're not exactly sure what happened. But yeah, we bent this one back. Kyle just bent this one over his knee, and yeah, we just put it right back out there and got to work. So yeah, no profound damage. Based on the damage we just saw, I think that we can expect a really long life out of these. And some of the benefits that I should mention about this, there are all kinds of systems out there that can allow you to hang clay pigeons or whatever. But you can see that just the toughness of this kind of sets it apart from some of the other things out there. If this takes a bullet, as you can see, nothing is really going to happen. With some of the others that might be wire-based, metal-based, it's going to take damage and it's just going to accumulate really quickly. Whereas this, I think it is going to last a very long time. There is also something really cool about the retention on the back of these. You can see these little kind of nubs hanging out back here. And what these are going to do is no matter what the wind is like, it isn't going to shake the clay pigeon loose. And really this thing just isn't going to move around. We've shot this in, pretty low winds so far. We've had them in some kind of different conditions. But yeah, these things they don't move. The clay pigeons don't fall out. The only way that they fall out really is if they take a really solid hit and decide to explode. And that is one other thing to notice in some of the video that we've shot so far. Since you do get, number one, a bullet moving very quickly, and you do get a little bit of support from the outer ring here, sometimes these things, they don't necessarily explode like you would see if you shot it with a shotgun or whatever. They just get a pin punch through them, or sometimes just a part of them falls out. And that's one of the reasons why it's good to have a spotter or a really nice scope like this HDMR2, so you can verify that you did actually put a hole through them. For the most part, though, it is pretty obvious if you've made a hit. There have been a couple where we've driven up afterward, we thought we missed, and then we did actually have a hit. But yeah, for the most part, you can see the holes put through here. And it might be a difference between different types of clay pigeons. We've shot champion clay pigeons through here, and some of those biodegradable ones that you get at Walmart. And they both seem to act about the same. But yeah, total price on these, I think right now on Amazon, these are selling for about 18 bucks a piece. So yeah, outfitting yourself with 5 of these, it does kind of add up a little bit. But when you factor in the total life that you're going to get out of this, and the kind of fun challenges that you can do, like I mentioned, we even shot pistols at these things at closer ranges, some 22 long rifle, kind of quicker drills going back and forth between shots. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of a long life and a lot of good fun out of these. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Even if you didn't like this particular content, go ahead and subscribe. There's probably something coming that's more up your alley. Check out this playlist right here. This is going to have videos in a similar vein to what you just watched. These 2 videos we cherry-picked for you. And finally, The Social Regressive is on Patreon. So you can become a patron of the Destructive Arts and earn some goodies while helping us to provide high-quality videos just by kicking us a few bucks a month. Thanks a bunch for your patronage.